of the House. Members, you'd be reminded that on the 13th day of February 2025, the House of Representatives by resolution referred, 1, the estimates of expenditure for 2025-2026 for the financial year ending March 31st, 2026, the Jamaica Public Bodies estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year ending March 2026, the Government of Jamaica Fiscal Policy Paper for the financial year 2025-2026, the Medium-Term Debt Management Strategy for the financial year 2025-2026 to the financial year 2028-2029, the Revenue Estimates 2025-26 for the financial year ending March 31st, 2026, the Tax Expenditure Statement 2025, the Jamaica Mortgage Bank estimates of revenue and expenditure for the year ending March 2026, and the Public Sector Consolidated Estimates of Expenditure for the financial year ending March 31st, 2026, which were all laid on the table of the House on the 13th day of February 2025 to the Standing Finance Committee of the whole House of Representatives. This consisting of all the members of the House for consideration and report. This committee is now ready to start its deliberations, and I ask that the Leader of the House inform us how we will proceed.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The traditional format, as indicated, relates to the schedule, Madam Chair, of the presentations of ministers and led, of course, by the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance, in the traditional form, will offer opening remarks and then guide the proceedings as per the schedule that is before this Honorable Committee. So it is my pleasure now, Madam Chair, to invite the Minister of Finance to lead off the deliberations.
Madam Chair, while the Ministry of Finance is getting ready, I just want to ascertain this latest schedule. This is the schedule for today and tomorrow.
The latest schedule, as you have it, is the schedule for today and tomorrow. It begins with the Minister taking all the Governor General, Office of Prime Minister, departments, etc., and it will be followed by the Ministry, and then the Ministry of Tourism in that order, as per the schedule there. Yes.
House Leader, he wanted to confirm or ascertain if we will maintain the order as written.
Right. Madam Chair, you know, in the best form, we seek so to do, but in the best laid plans of mice and men. So one sometimes has to take account of exigencies that may arise, that may allow, you know, for ministerial adjustment here or there, as the case might be.
And let me just hasten to add, as always, once there is any unforeseen adjustment, the members of the House will be immediately notified so that you are prepared in advance. Minister of Finance will now lead out. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And in addition to us being timely notified, can we also ensure that the civil servants who have to come in and wait for so long, including this morning, that they be notified in a timely way as well?
Yeah, we do.
You know, Madam Chair, I think the member appreciates that sometimes the adjustments are in relation to immediate development. You know, in my other avocation, you know, with marketing. It's an opportunity, and sometimes the opportunity comes, you just have to deal with it, boom, boom, without even planning. So, so sometimes, you know, a situation develops and will change. But in the normal run of things, yes, the procedures will be followed. Yes.
Members, let us welcome the Minister of Finance and Public Service, who will lead out on the deliberations. Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm pleased to be presenting the budget for the fiscal year 2025-26. I'm joined this morning by State Minister Main, our Financial Secretary, and the team from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. So let me start by saying that the total recurrent expenditure for the central government is 1,197,453,418,000. Total capital spending for the central government is expected to be 62,595,000,000. However, when you look at the consolidated public sector estimates of expenditure, which is a total of the spending for central government and the public bodies, you will note that the spending of the government as a whole is closer to $1.9 trillion, just about 6% shy of $2 trillion. Of that $1.9 trillion capital expenditure across government, meaning central government and public bodies, is expected to be $165.6 billion. Madam Chair, shifting to focus on the central government, as said earlier, the total recurrent expenditure for fiscal year 2025-26 is $857 billion. Of that, wages and salaries account for $463.4 billion, or 42.3% of total recurrent expenditure of central government. Outside of interest payment and debt amortization, wages and salaries continue to represent the largest item of expenditure for central government, having risen from 31.8% of expenditure in fiscal year 2021-22 to now 42.3% of expenditure for fiscal year 2025-26. Madam Chair, another important metric is the primary balance. The central government's primary balance is projected to be $178 billion, or 5.1% of GDP, which continues to keep the consolidated government's debt on a sustainable path, which means we are able to manage interest payment and also remain on the trajectory for the debt to GDP target of 60% by fiscal year 2027-28. Okay, Madam Chair, allow me to just go back up a bit and introduce the team. I did introduce our Financial Secretary, but Financial Secretary, if you want to say who's here? No. You're okay. All right, okay. As we go along, you will know who the members are. So for
Minister, we're not hearing you very well. I think you're introducing your State Minister and at least the FS.
I did already,
and the rest of the team, but the opposition was indicating they're not quite hearing you on the mic. I was thinking we can tilt the mic up a bit. Towards her, yes. Go again, Minister.
All right.
Minister, you do not have to start over.
You want me to start again? Okay. All right. Madam Chair, we will be, as is customary, we will be taking the figures for the Office of the Cabinet and Departments. Okay. All right, Madam Chair, I'm told that we are going to begin with the Ministry of Finance, and then we will move on to the other entities for which I have to report this morning.
Madam Chair, in keeping with the traditions, the Minister would perhaps want to invite the opposition spokesman on finance to offer a comment if he so desires.
I would just go straight into questions. So if you're ready for questions, I'll start with my questions. Ready for questions now?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Normally, when the minister makes an opening statement, the chairman is, the House leader is saying that traditionally you'd be allowed to make a response. If not, then Minister, you would go ahead and present, and then you would field questions.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the Ministry of Finance, which starts on page 20,000-1 and includes the Accountant General's Department, Jamaica Customs Agency, public debt servicing, which means amortization and interest payments, pensions, TAJ, FID, and Revenue Protection Division. The budget for fiscal year 2025-26 totals $486.5 billion. Public debt servicing, which is amortization, accounts for $162.7 million. That is the principal of the debt coming due. Interest payments are expected to be
Minister, would you be so kind as to just give us at the front here just a minute or two? House, just give us a minute or two. We want to be able to hear you, and we need to do a little bit of housekeeping.
these numbers. I'm just going to read it. I'm just going to read these numbers. Yeah. Where I can explain, I will. Like, you know, the year over year. Okay. All right. He said he will go straight to questions. He said he will go straight